We talk about why the Suns should be shameful for representing the Western Conference in the NBA Finals. The reason why I say this is because you had a 2-0 lead versus a Bucks team who has a superstar in Giannis who can't shoot jump shots, who doesn't have a jump shot, and who makes jump shots here and there. And you allowed him to average like 40 points the whole series. Nobody understands why. Nobody really understands how. Don't get me wrong. I'm not taking nothing away from Giannis. He was he was great in this NBA Finals. He's been great throughout the playoffs. He's been a great player for a while now. So I don't want to take anything from him. Shout out to him for winning the championship in the Bucks because they definitely were the better team. At least, on display they were, because on paper I thought, a lot of people might have looked at the Suns as a better team. But this is the reason why the Suns should be shameful. You had a 2-0 lead against a player like Giannis and the Milwaukee Bucks, against a team who has Chris Middleton and Drew Holiday as their second and third guy. Chris Middleton is very inconsistent, always has been, and he's a very up and down player. So is Drew Holiday. Drew Holiday is a really good role player, but he's more known defensively than he is offensively. He may have a breakout game here or there in a series, but it's nothing consistent like a really great shooting guard, in which the position he plays. I think he plays point guard too. He can play both, but I'm just saying in his position, he's probably not ranked nowhere near the top 10 or 20 in the NBA because he's inconsistent offensively, but he is a really good defender. So I do give Drew Holiday that, and he can knock down some big shots. So I don't want to diminish Drew Holiday's presence. I'm not hating on Drew Holiday by any means, nor Chris Middleton. I'm just saying when you have inconsistent players on the offensive end and a superstar on the other team in Milwaukee who can't shoot jumpers and who can't shoot, only thing they can do is dunk. You have no reason for losing a series like that. You really do. I mean, you really don't. So the Phoenix Suns had Chris Paul. They had Devin Booker. You got DeAndre Ayton. You got Mikal Bridges. You got Jay Crowder. You got Cam Johnson. And you got Cameron Payne. So you have enough players on the team that make up offensively for what the Bucks can do. And honestly, you're definitely a better team on paper than the Bucks are because you have more firepower. And the way Monty Williams was coaching throughout this season, I thought he was a better coach than Mike Budenholzer for the Milwaukee Bucks. But at the same time, he not only got out-coached, they got outplayed. So, I mean, when you look at it in its entirety, I'm looking at Chris Paul, I'm looking at Devin Booker, and I'm not even going to put much on Devin Booker because I know Devin Booker is a younger player and he's an up-and-coming superstar. But when you look at Chris Paul, the onus has to go on him. You've been in the league 16, 17 years. You've had no opportunities at the NBA Finals. This is your first and probably only one. And you're playing against a team where you have inconsistent players and you have a superstar over there who can't shoot that great from the field. And even though Giannis played great, he did make some big shots and stuff in this series from what I saw. And Giannis played great. I'm not going to take nothing from him, as I said earlier. But as Chris Paul, you've got to be better. You've got to be a better player. And this is the reason why I said in my prior video yesterday, you could check it out, the wrong team made it to the NBA Finals. Because I still say if the Clippers made it to the NBA Finals, we would be having a different conversation. If Kawhi Leonard was healthy on the Clippers, the Claw would have guarded Giannis, and he wouldn't have put up 40 points every game as easily. I know he wouldn't have. And like I said, to me, when you look at the Phoenix Suns' woes and issues, if you look at Toronto from a couple years ago when they played the Bucks, they just built a wall for Giannis. Giannis had a bunch of shooters around him, just as he does now. And they built a wall for Giannis not to dominate. If you stop Giannis and build a wall and just make him a jump shooter, you could beat the Bucks. They're a pretty easy team to beat if everybody on your team is healthy and you play defense the right way. Of course, you're not going to stop Giannis from getting 25, 30 plus points a game, but you can stop him from getting 40 and 50 a game. You can stop him from doing that, especially somebody with no jump shot. And I think that's where, a lot of drawback is going to come. I feel like CP3's career is over with. I think he just needs to go ahead and retire now. I heard he's going to try to opt out for his contract to try to, I guess, get more money, but I wouldn't do it if I were them. I mean, honestly, I would just, let him either ride in the sunset or ride out the contract that he has, because what he showed in these finals, it just wasn't good enough. And even though I know he's older and he probably got gassed from what I was seeing, it doesn't matter. No excuses. You got to win, especially if you got a better team all around. And I'll take a lot of players on the Suns over the players on the Bucks. Maybe besides, I like I said, they got some good players on the Bucks, but on paper, the Suns had the better team, and and what it came down to was making baskets at the right time, and the Suns didn't, and the Bucks did, and that's just my take on the situation. But hey, you know what I'm saying? The right team in this series won. I just feel like the wrong team from the Western Conference made it to the finals. And, I'm just going to say this now. Very disappointed, in how Chris Paul played, even though I'm not a Chris Paul fan, never have been, never ever will be. But I did think that his team could pull off the victory and win the finals, because you was up 2-0 and you let a team win 4 straight games and you pretty much did nothing about it. Very, very distasteful, very disappointing on Chris Paul's part. But it's like I always said about Chris Paul, he's not that guy, and he never has been. And that's just the way it is. He's a superstar, but he's not the star. He's not the guy who can get you over the hump. And I've always said that about him. And you know something? It still proves to be true. But hey, that's my take on the situation. Let me know what you think in the comment section as always. And Cali out.